Prabodaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Siddha Swarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Namah Shripadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Siddha Swarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Namo Siddha Swarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prishtaya Te Namaste Saraswati Deva Gauravani Prachaline Nirvisesa Sunyavati Vaskachya Desa Tarine Vajashri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Mahadana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Mahadana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Nityananda Gauranga 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Padaya, Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shimate, Siddha Swarupananda, Paramam Saitinan. Bhaja Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasade Bhakta Vrindam, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribo, sir, namaste. Thank you very much. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat.
Parang mahina yung sound. Namaste. Thank you very much, Sis Bajan, for the wonderful kirtan.
Haribo.
Welcome to our Srimad Bhagavatam class. It's been a while because, there's a lot of activities that happened in the last 2 weeks. So, and also I am constantly traveling. That's why. So, anyway, let's all pray. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimati Sirasvarupananda, Paramahamsa Itinamine, Vajra Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivas Adigor Bhaktavrindam, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Thank you very much, Rhea. Ano to? Rhea.
Haribo, sir. Yes po.
Ayun, okay lang. Okay. So anyway, we are going to continue our reading and discussion on still on Canto 1, of Srimad Bhagavatam. Sino ba ano ngayon? Who's gonna do the first reading?
Sir Pravin po. Text 26.
Okay, Mr. Pravin, go ahead.
Haribol, can you hear me?
Yes, we are very clear, my friend.
Okay, text 26. The burden of the earth was certainly diminished by the personality of Godhead and by others as well. When he was present as an incarnation, all good was performed because of his auspicious footprints. Text 27. Now she, the chaste one, being unfortunately forsaken by the personality of Godhead, laments her future with tears in her eyes, for now she is being ruled and enjoyed by lower class men who pose as rulers. The Kshatriya, or the man who is qualified to protect the sufferers, is meant to rule the state. Untrained lower class men, or men without ambition to protect the sufferers, cannot be placed on the seat of an administrator. Unfortunately, in the age of Kali, the lower class men without training occupy the post of a ruler by strength of popular votes. And instead of protecting the sufferers, such men create a situation quite intolerable for everyone. Such rulers illegally gratify themselves at the cost of all comforts of the citizens. And thus the chaste Mother Earth cries to see the pitiable condition of her sons, both men and animals. That is the future of the world in the age of Kali, when irreligiosity prevails most prominently. And in the absence of a suitable king to curb irreligious tendencies, educating the people systematically in the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam will clear up the hazy atmosphere of corruption, bribery, blackmail, etc. Haribol.
All right. Haribol, thank you very much, Mr. Pravin. So here we can see how the age of Kali is very much is very much in the air at that time when you know Mother Earth in the form of the cow, no? Lamented. She actually lamented very much about the condition of the situation on Earth, being so that it is actually the sign that Kali Yuga is already starting. You know, so both the cow as well as the bull, no, who is considered to be yeah, who is considered to be uh, uh, the Vedas, the personified Vedas, lamented very much about the situation. No? Instead of the cow uh, and the bull serving the brahmanas, serving the people who are following the religious principles, no, Sanatan Dharma. They are now forced to uh, serve uh, pretenders, pretenders who pose themselves as leaders of humanity, or um, leaders of the world, but actually they do not have the qualification. The qualification being that they are uh, actually Sudras. They have a Sudra mentality. So how can you expect peace and prosperity and harmony uh, on people who as pose themselves as leaders or kings, or presidents or prime ministers, when in fact they have the consciousness of a Sudra? It's not possible. The consciousness of a Sudra is that they are just triggered by their sensual enjoyments, etc., without really giving uh, guidance, no, spiritual guidance to the masses of people. So it's not possible, really. That's why in the world today, many so-called leaders of the world, they are not really kasatriyas. They are not really true kasatriyas, in the sense that you know uh, they're either they are mostly they have the consciousness of Sudras, or they are uh, Vaishyas, businessmen, yeah, trying to rule the world. Yeah. So in the Vedas, in the Vedic system, who is supposed to rule the world must be kings who have Brahminical qualities. They should have Brahminical qualities, yeah, of cleanliness, tolerance, uh, uh, kindness, yeah, and truthfulness. These are the Brahminical qualities that should rule the world. However, what is happening right now, they're not really qualified to be the rulers of the world, the rulers of communities in the world. Yeah, this is very unfortunate. And so Mother Cow is actually grieving, no, for the loss of this wonderful Vedic uh, uh, the Vedic teachings and the Vedic civilization that is supposed to be ruling the world. Problema, you know, because the leaders are not qualified, so they just end up uh, fattening their pockets, and also uh, most of them are corrupt politicians, instead of really guiding the citizens to the actual goal of life. What is the goal of life? The goal of life is to be able to understand why we are here in the first place in this world, how to live properly as human beings, separate from animals, yeah, uh, taking good care of animals, especially the cows, like this. But right now, it's almost in it's almost the other way around. Instead of taking good care of the cows, what do? They support they support slaughterhouses left and right. You know, this is the reason why Kali Yuga is actually speeding up like hell, because you know Mother Nature can only stand the abuse to a certain level. You go past it, talagang magkakaroon ng ano yan, magkakaroon ng karma yan, magkakaroon ng karmic reactions uh, by way of natural disasters, by way of wars and destruction, by way of diseases. For instance, itong dumaan na uh, eh, diseases uh, such as the COVID-19, for instance. Uh, these are diseases that are supposed to be that are supposed to be controllable, but because of misleading politicians that rule the world, it's the citizens that suffer. Yeah, that suffer so much. Okay, let's continue reading.
Haribol, Namaste.
Haribo.
Text 28, translation. Maharaj Parikshit, who could fight 1,000 enemies single-handedly, thus pacified the personality of religion and the earth. Then he took up his sharp sword to kill the personality of Kali, who is the cause of all irreligion. Purport. As described above, the personality of Kali is he who deliberately commits all kinds of sinful acts which are forbidden in the revealed scriptures. These aids of Kali will certainly be full of all activities of Kali, but this does not mean that the leaders of society, the executive heads, the learned and intelligent men, or above all, the devotees of the Lord should sit down tightly and become callous to the reactions of the aids of Kali. In the rainy season, certainly there will be profuse rainfalls, but that does not mean that men should not take means to protect themselves from the rains. It is the duty of the executive heads of state and others to take all necessary actions against the activities of Kali or the persons influenced by the aids of Kali. And Maharaj Pariksit is the ideal executive head of the state, for all once he was ready to kill the personality of Kali with his sharp sword. The administrator should not simply pass resolutions for anti-corruptional steps, but they must be ready with sharp swords to kill the persons creating corruptions from the angle of vision of the recognized sastras. The administrators cannot prevent corrupt activities by allowing wine shops. They must at once close all shops of intoxicating drugs and wine and force punishment even by death for those who indulge in habits of intoxication of all description. That is the way of stopping the activities of Kali, as exhibited herein by Maharaj Pariksit. Damaha Rata. Haribol.
Haribol, thank you very much, Rhea. So you see the what the Vedic principle is. It is so idealist. It is so idealistic that when you try to read what the Vedic civilization was in the past, it was really very strict, no? Uh, and because it was strict, you can expect humanity experience experiencing peace and order. You will be seeing them to be happy individuals. You know, you will be seeing them content with what they have and live peacefully in the world. In the community, certainly there will be a unity and brotherhood present because of the tenets of the revealed scriptures, no? Ang problema lang ngayon, it is the opposite. It is the opposite. For example, in the world today, you can see governments, uh, they they actually uh, ban they actually ban uh, drugs. Okay, they actually ban drugs, but they do not ban intoxicants like whiskey, brandy, like this. They do not ban it. Why don't they ban it? Huh? Because they get a lot of taxes from these companies. They do not get taxes from illegal drugs like cocaine or like shabu, etc. So that's why they say that it is actually bad for the health, but actually it's bad for the economy because they are not able to get taxes from these companies. They're only getting taxes from cigarette companies and of course uh, uh, alcohol companies. So they have they allow this to flourish in the world, when in fact, if you try to look at the uh, deaths incurred by, for example, drunk driving and 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 husbands that have become very unruly to their wives. They come home drunk, etc., etc., uh, and they beat up their wives and children, etc., because of drunkenness. But because it is, you know, governments are making a lot of money from taxes, they allow it. So this is very sad because the morality of people in general have become so degraded because this is an uh, unabated yung ano no yung use of vices in the world. And I'm not only talking about the Philippines. I'm talking about the big, like uh, big economies, first world countries. You know, they allow all this simply because it is good for the coffers of the government, but they don't actually see the unseen effect that it has for the children, for the young generations, etc. You know, uh, for the current situation in the world, domestic violence happening left and right like this. These are all unabated. That's why we have a world that is really reeling of uh, distressed people, also uh, people who suffer from mental disorders. Yeah, kasi wala nagko-control eh. There's no control of all these vices. And in the Vedic civilization, if you want peace and order, if you want harmony in society, you have got to have these laws. These laws are in place by qualified administrators or kasatriyas. But because the administrators right now are not qualified anymore, yeah, they are not able to see uh, what is good and what is bad for humanity. Yeah, they are just after, okay ba ito sa bulsa, am I going to get rich, if I allow this, etc. This totally out of greed, and 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 so-called um, human civilization that's happening in the world. Actually, it's not human civilization anymore. If you try to really describe what's happening in the world right now, this is not human civilization. This is actually animal civilization that's happening in the world. Every country you go to the world, the same banana, the same thing is happening. There's no more. There's no more governments that are really following religious principles. Wala na. Yeah. Let's continue reading.
Sir Pravin po, text
Mm.
29 and 30.
When the personality of Kali understood that the king was willing to kill him, he at once abandoned the dress of a king and, under pressure of fear, completely surrendered to him, bowing his head.
Mm.
The royal dress of the personality of Kali is artificial. The royal dress is suitable for a king or kshatriya. But when a lower class man artificially dresses himself as a king, his real identity is disclosed by the challenge of a bona fide kshatriya, like Maharaj Parikshit. A real, a real kshatriya never surrenders. He accepts the challenge of his rival kshatriya, and he fights either to die or to win. Surrender is unknown to a real kshatriya. In the age of Kali, there are so many pretenders dressed and posed like administrators or executive heads, but their real identity is disclosed when they are challenged by a real Kshatriya. Therefore, when the artificially dressed personality of Kali saw that to fight Maharaj Parikshit was beyond his ability, he bowed down his head like a subordinate and gave up his royal dress.
Mm. Thank you very much, Mr.
Haribol.
Pravin. Haribol.
Haribol.
So here we can see that, the Maharaj Pariksit, who is the ideal Kshatriya or ideal leader, no, emperor. He was actually very ideal. His qualities were patterned around the qualities of his uh, of his grandfathers, the uh, the the Pandavas. Yung quality niya Pandavas talaga eh. The qualities of Arjuna, the qualities of Bhima, the qualities uh, of Yudhisthira. These are his icons, no, models, examples. He actually was ruling in the same way his uh, uh, his grandfathers were ruling before him. You know, so when he saw this, he was about to kill this sinner who acted as if he was a kshatriya, he was a king, dressed like a king, but actually got exposed. Got exposed because he was faced with a real kshatriya, with a real leader in the person of Maharaj Pariksit. So he bowed down his head and 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 could not utter any harsh words from uh, uh, could not utter harsh words, no? um, and um, and of course, facing Maharaj Pariksit is the real Kshatriya, is the real king, um, whose principle is based on Sanatana Dharma, whose principle is based on the Vedanta Sutras. Yeah. Uh, and therefore, this madman who acted as the representative of Kali, yeah, couldn't do anything but to surrender, to bow down his head to the real king, Maharaj Pariksit, because Maharaj Pariksit actually was like aura mismo. Right now, I'm going to execute these pretenders. I'm going to execute these people uh, who are pretending to be pretending to be kasatriyas, or pretending to be leaders of the world, but without any spiritual qualifications, moral qualifications. They don't even have that. What to speak of spiritual qualifications? Tuloy natin.
Sir Pravin pa.
Text 30. Maharaj Parikshit, who was qualified to accept surrender and worthy of being sung in history, did not kill the poor surrendered and fallen Kali, but smiled compassionately, for he was kind to the poor. Even an ordinary Kshatriya does not kill a surrendered person. And what to speak of Maharaj Parikshit, who was by nature compassionate and kind to the poor? He was smiling because the artificially dressed Kali had disclosed his identity as a lower class man, and he was thinking how ironic it was that although no one was saved from his sharp sword when he desired to kill, the poor lower class Kali was spared by his timely surrender. Maharaj Parikshit's glory and kindness are therefore sung in history. He was a kind and compassionate emperor. fully worthy of accepting surrender even from his enemy. Thus, the personality of Kali was saved by the will of providence. Haribol.
Yeah, Haribol. Thank you, Mr. Praveen. So, because of the attitude of this personified Kali, he did not fight it out with a real king. Because he knew that he was not a real king. He knew that he was not a real leader at all. Yeah, he was a representative Kali. He was the representative of sinfulness in this world. Yeah, uh, and when he saw the real king, he asked for forgiveness, bowed down his head, and Maharaj Pariksit, being a very very kind and compassionate leader, yeah, very compassionate. He was a very compassionate. He was especially compassionate to the poor people. Uh, and he immediately noticed that this is just a this is just somebody who was asked to do things with you know uh, being paid like this. It was not really. This guy is really good, but was just forced to do bad things by the influence of Kali. No, so immediately forgave he forgave this uh, personality of Kali. He forgave him because of his attitude of uh, surrendering, and bowing his head, and you know, uh, because of that kind of an attitude, Maharaj Pariksit, with the it is described that Maharaj Pariksit gave him another chance for life, and of course, because of the influence of uh, the influence of goodness, he was saved. He was saved by. Uh, he was supposed to be beheaded. He was supposed to be killed immediately by the emperor, but because of divine providence, yeah, of goodness, he was spared. So he was able to like live uh, a life that is based on goodness, yeah, that is based on goodness, and this is what happens when a person is is able to actually realize what kind of life he has because of the influence of Kali. When he's able to realize and make amends, no, and cry tears of repentance like this, any real leader or any Vaishnava with a good heart will forgive that person. Mm. Okay, continue lang tayo.
Ma'am Elinet.
Haribol, Namaste. Text 31. The king thus said, "We have inherited the fame of Arjuna. Therefore, since you have surrendered yourself with folded hands, you need not fear for your life, but you cannot remain in my kingdom, for you are the friend of irreligion." Purport.
Mm.
The personality of Kali, who is the friend of all kinds of irreligiosities, may be excused if he surrenders, but in all circumstances, he cannot be allowed to live as a citizen in any part of a welfare state. The Pandavas were entrusted representatives of the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, who, who practically brought into being the battle of Kurukshetra, but not for any personal interest. He wanted an ideal king like Maharaj Yudhishthir and his descendants like Maharaj Pariksit to rule the world, and therefore a responsible king like Maharaj Pariksit could not allow the trend of irreligiosity to flourish in his kingdom at the cost of the good faith of the Pandavas. That is the way of wiping out corruption in the state and not otherwise. The friends of irreligiosity should be banished from the state, and that will save the state from corruption. Namaste.
Hari, Haribol, namaste. Thank you very much, Elinat. So,
Oh,
uh, he was forgiven. He was forgiven, no? But at the same time, because uh, Maharaj Pariksit was an ideal leader, was an ideal emperor. He doesn't want the friend of religiosity to be in the kingdom. Uh, so you are forgiven, but do not stay in my kingdom. All right, you stay outside of my kingdom, like this. The reason is very, very simple. The reason is that, like for instance, if you have a bunch of uh, let's say a bunch of tomatoes, and then you insert a rotten tomatoes inside it. What happens with the other good tomatoes? It gets rotten as well, right? So it's like that. You can see how ideal um, Maharaj Pariksit was in terms of his being the leader of uh, humanity. We might say, because he is the last emperor. So he was he was ruling on behalf of his grandfathers, the Pandavas, yeah, who are the representatives of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore, because he was a direct descendant, he is considered to be representatives, the representative of the uh, Vedic civilization. Uh, he 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 has to do these things. He has to exercise his power as an emperor for the benefit of the many majority of the people uh, on earth. Sige, last verse tayo.
Ma'am Eleanor.
Haribol. Text 32. If the
Hmm.
personality of Kali, the religion, is allowed to act as a man god or an
Sandali
executive
lang, sandali lang, sandali lang. Nasaan ka na?
po,
Therefore, O
32
friend of
po.
religion, 32 lang. Okay, 33 na tayo. Oh, go ahead. Thank you, Alinet. Go ahead, Alinet.
32 po.
If the
If the,
personality of
if,
Kali.
if the personality of Kali, the religion, is allowed to act as a man god or an executive head, certainly the religious principles like greed, falsehood, robbery, incivility, treachery, misfortune, cheating, quarrel, and vanity will abound. Fourth, the principle of religion, namely austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness, as we have already discussed, may be followed by the follower of any faith. There is no need to turn from Hindu to Mohammedan to Christian or some other faith and thus become a renegade and not follow the principles of religion. The Bhagavatam religion urges following the principles of religion. The principles of religion are not the dogmas or regulative principles of a certain faith. Such regulative principles may be different in terms of the time and place concerned. One has to see whether the aims of religion have been achieved. Sticking to the dogmas and formulas without attaining the real principle is not good. A secular state may be impartial to any particular type of faith, but the state cannot be indifferent to the principles of religion, as above mentioned. But in the age of Kali, the executive heads of state will be indifferent to such religious principles, and therefore, under their patronage, the opponents of religious principles such as greed, falsehood, cheating, and thievery will naturally flow. And so there will be no meaningful propaganda trying to stop corruption in the state.
Mm.
Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste. Thank you very much, and Alina. So, yun, if Maharaj Pariksit did not exercise his leadership, certainly because the Kali personified are friends with people who are irreligionists. They are full of falsehoods, full of treachery. Yeah, uh, they are actually engaged in all kinds of illegal activities, prostitution. Yeah, uh, acts that are in the mode of ignorance. Yeah, so sinasabi rito, if this is not, if you know, if they are not contained properly, they will be a threat. They actually will be a threat to humanity. Kasi kakalat sila eh, dadami sila eh. You know, these rotten tomatoes will get plenty of them, etc. So it will destroy the fabric, the main fabric of society. No, uh, so so it was ideal for Maharaj Pariksit to lead like this, to lead exactly like this. Not only is he doing this for following the religious principles, but he himself is a man of God. He himself is a devotee of Krishna. That's why it was just natural for him to be able to actually follow all these tenets of uh, the religious principles. Okay, so hanggang dito na lang muna tayo. Rhea, did you do you have any questions, guys? May questions kayo?
Haribo, sir.
Sino si
I have a question po.
Yeah, hold on. Sino si
Jezebel
Jezebel
Fabic po.
Fabic?
Si April
Jezebel
Rain
Fabic.
po, sir. Hipag ko po.
Si April Rain. Aribol, April Rain. Ba't gano'n ang pangalan? That's another account. Okay. Go ahead, Rhea, your question.
Sir po, sir.
Haribol, namaste, April Rain.
Haribo, sir. Yes po. I was just curious what is the difference between fate and destiny, because as described in the scriptures, like we are already in the age of Kali, and the symptoms of Kali, we can actually observe the symptoms of Kali in every aspect. But for example, theoretically, if for example, like three-fourths of the humanity on the earth will have an effort to change the consciousness. Is it possible that, like, because it was already written in the scriptures that the age of Kali will happen like that. Anything that is written in the scriptures will truly happen. But what if, for example, because there are also groups of people on earth right now who are trying to, like, do good things, like philanthropy, in save the environment and everything, in the mood of goodness and everything. So I was just curious if it will still affect, for example, there's certain community that would try to like live in the way in the way that it was written in the Vedas, the mood of goodness and everything. Yeah, that's why
Pwede pa
I
naman.
am.
Pwede pa naman. Actually, if a certain community or certain sectors of society will act under the influence of the religious principles, pwede. Makikita mo yung community na yon will actually see a very peaceful people, no? Peaceful individuals that respect each other like this. So pag mayroong mga sectors of society or groups of people in the world who are bent on following the religious principles, why not? These are all, even though we are now in the face of Kali Yuga, no? But if a certain, for example, I'll give you an example. Vaishnavas, whose family are all following the religious principles, you can see that this particular family is actually experiencing uh, peace and harmony inside the household. They are happy individuals, yeah, because they are devotees of God, like this. So there is no stopping uh, communities and governments of actually building up society by way of religious principles, no? Pwede naman yan. Kaya lang, because of the influence also of Kali Yuga, sometimes even these religious people are not anymore following strictly the way of the Vedic scriptures. Hindi na nila pina-follow masyado. Kaya the effect is not as good. For example, if the time was, let's say, in Treta Yuga or Dwarpa Yuga, no? Iba yun noon eh. Ngayon kasi Kali Yuga na tayo eh. Kali Yuga, meron talagang there's always contamination going on eh. There's a lot of contamination going on. So sometimes even in the families of devotees, paminsan magulo, no? Makikita mo, meron mga ganon. So it is because of the influence of Kali Yuga. So your question is it possible to like still feel some peace and harmony in certain sectors of society or in certain governments, etc.? Pwede. Pwede yan. It just needs
Haribo,
some...
sir. Yes po. Yes. My question is, theoretically, is it possible that the direction of humanity will change? But I understand already that it is not actually the humanity that will that's change of direction of humanity, but only like certain individual groups. But actually, the the humanity as a whole, the direction of the humankind is really written already. It will happen. Parang ganon.
Ideally,
Because it's already Kali Yuga.
yes, ideally dapat talaga because of certain groups of people are doing the right thing. Yeah, will it affect the other people, the majority? Sabi natin majority because majority of people in the world today are materialistic. They are very materialistic. Konting-konti lang yung nagpa-practice ng spiritual life eh. majority of them are karmis, materialists. So is it possible to change like uh, what the Vedas have written down? The effect of Kali Yuga in society, etc. Unlikely. Kasi mas maraming masasama kaysa sa kaysa sa mga mabubuti. Hmm? Pero as I've said, it doesn't stop any group of individuals who try to follow religious principles. Gaganda yung buhay nila. Ganon. Because they're doing something good for society, good for the environment, good for social justice, etc. No, so uh, naturally it will have a good karma for those people who are practicing this. No, pero unlikely to have a great effect on on the whole world. How we wish that everybody can chant the holy names of Krishna. Uh, Hindi naman tayo nag-give up din. As Vaishnavas, we are not giving up uh, the uh, the aspirations, no, that sana everybody can follow religious principles so that people uh, will not experience uh, unhappiness and injustices upon the people. Tuloy-tuloy lang yung ating aspirations. Pero of course, Krishna Krishna is the supreme controller of everything. So if he wishes that, if it is already written in the Vedic scriptures about what will happen in Kali Yuga, we cannot overturn it because it's already there. We can only try our best. No, we can only try our best. No, yun lang. Any other question?
Thank you po, Sir Haribol.
Haribol Rhea. Sino nakaano sa kirtan? Sino naka-schedule?
Haribol, Sir, di po nakarating si Ma'am Mabel, may klase po yata.
Okay. Nandito naman si Elinette. Elinette, would you like to do the exit kirtan, Elinette?
Ano po, sobrang low na ulit ng aking internet, maputol-putol na, kaya baka hindi magtuloy-tuloy
Mababa.
while I am
Nalalaglag
doing the
ka.
data. Opo,
Ah,
sorry naman.
okay. Sige. Dali ha. Si Isaac kaya. Maganda na kaya yung sound ni Isaac. It has always been very, very faint. Isaac, are you there? Cleo? Okay na ba yung sound nyo? Okay na ba yung mic nyo? Nakamute kayo ha? Isaac. Haribol. Yan. Kirtan tayo, Isaac, for 6-7 minutes. Medyo lumakas na. Medyo lumakas compare nung mga unang haraan.
Namaon Vishnu Padaya Napreskaya Bhutale Dimate Siddhaswarupananda Paramaham Jai Kinamite Mate Siddhaswarapananda Paramahamsa Vinamine Rajashri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasati Gaur Bhakta Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasati Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare, Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohan Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohan Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohan Gopala Govinda Rama Gopala Govinda Rama Radha Namokana Gopala Govinda Rama Radha Namokana Gopala Govinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gauranga Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gauranga Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Nitai Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Nitai Jai Shri Prabhupada Jai Nitai Gaur Hari Bol.
Haribol, thank you very much there, Isaac, Cleo, and Krishnadasi, for that wonderful exit kirtan. Maraming salamat sa inyong pamilya. I'd like to also thank Sis Bajandasi for the opening kirtan, Rhea for the admin in the room. Maraming salamat. And of course, Janner, for the simulcast. Thank you very much. At sa lahat ng readers, no, for tonight's discussion, thank you all very much. And of course, every participant, please accept my respectful obeisances unto you all. Thank you very much. Haribo, namaste.
Thank you din po si Rada. Thank you Ma'am Bajandasi and Sir Isaac and family for the wonderful kirtan. Thank you Sir George for co-hosting and thank you Sir Pravin and Ma'am Elimet for reading and to everyone who attended. Thank you very much Jaya Gurudev Krishna. Haribol.
Haribol, ingat po kayo lahat. Take good care of yourselves.
Haribol.
Haribol, Mr.
Haribol.
Pravin.
Haribol, namaste.
Haribol Ma'am
Salamat po.
Bajandasi.
Haribol.
Haribol. Haribol Ma'am
Haribol.
Bien. Haribol. Ate Jing and everyone there and Haribol Ma'am Ines. Krishna Krishna Jaya Gurudev. Signing opo Haribol.
Haribol, ma'am.
Haribol Ma'am Ines.
Haribol. Haribol.